Hello, welcome to Rashi Parasha Study Parashat Tzav. Today we're going to once again try to set certain dates in the Torah in perspective. In Perek Het of this week's Parasha, Hashem tells Moshe, "Kach et Aharon ve'et banav ito ve'et begadim ve'et shemen ha'mashcha ve'et parah hatat ve'et shenei ha'ilim ve'et sal hamasot." He gives them a commandment to go take these certain things, as if Moshe already knows what it's supposed to be: the begadim, the shemen ha'mashcha, the parah hatat, the shnei ha'ilim, the sal of the matzot, the basket that we already spoke about. And you're going to help Aharon offer these korbanot today, and he's going to sit in Ol Moed for 7 days, and then he's going to, on the 8th day, actually start serving in the Mishkan. Okay, where did Hashem mention these ideas of to take these things from? It's actually in Parashat Tzav. Hashem told Aharon that this is going to be part of his miluim. Rashi comments here, and he says, listen, the Parasha zo ne'emra, Shiva yamim kodem hakamat Mishkan. 7 days prior to the Mishkan. This commandment here was 7 days prior to the hiring of the setting up of the Mishkan. Shen mukdam umu'ahad b'Torah. There's no order necessarily in the Torah. So Rashi, what are you talking about? Why are you insistent on saying this parasha is before hakamat Mishkan? How do you know that? And why do you need to say it? How does that mean? What exactly are you talking about? In order to understand this, we need to understand what happened at the end of Sefer Shemot in Parashat Pikudei, which we may have skipped and done something for Purim instead or something like that. But if you look at the end of Parashat Pikudei, Perek Mem, Pasuk Zayin, B'chodesh harishon b'shana hasheni b'had lachodesh ukama mishkan. These are the closing Pesukim, and it closes Vayikra Anan et Ol Moed Echod Adonai B'Leilat Mishkan. The closing Pesukim of Sefer Shemot. They build the Mishkan on the first day of Nisan, and the second year they're in the desert. So they left on the 15th of Nisan. They got to Har Sinai, Rosh Chodesh Sivan, Chodesh Shilishi, B'Yom Hazeh Ba'am Bar Sinai. They stay Heta Egel, firstly Har Sinai, Luchot Abrit, Heta Egel, the second set of Luchot, then the commandment to build the Mishkan. That all takes place for nearly a year, for 10 months, from Sivan to Nisan. They finish the Mishkan. So that means Rashi is telling us that our Parasha Perek Het of Sefer Vayikra is 7 days before the event of the end of Sefer Shemot. So that would mean En Mukdam Muhabbet Torah. You can't say there's an order in the Torah, a sequential dating order in the Torah, because these events really happened beforehand. Rashi, what's forcing you to say this? Why do you need to say that the events of our parasha happened prior? So look what happens here in the next perek, which is really Parashat Shemini. So we're actually getting 2 parashiyot in one today. Parashat Shemini begins with the famous Pesukim. Right, it's a continuation. The 7 days they offered those korbanot, they were preparing. We saw the first day of it, but they were doing it for 7 days. If you continue reading on in Perek Het, now on the 8th day, Moshe calls Aaron v'anav z'knei Israel, and they inaugurate the Mishkan on that day. Indeed, it actually says at Pasuk Kav Gimel, which is here, Vayavo Moshe Aharon el Ol Moed, Vayitzeu Vayivarechu et ha'am, and they go and they give a beracha to the people. Rashi comments and says the beracha, the Shekhinah should rest upon you, Vayira Kevod Adonai Kol Ha'am, and indeed the Shekhinah comes down. That's on the 8th day. The Shekhinah appeared to the people in the Mishkan. What does it say in Sefer Shemot at the end of the Sefer, which I know was Chodesh Harishon B'Shana Sheni B'Achad HaChodesh, the first of Nisan? It says Vaychas Ha'anan et Ol Moed Chvod Adonai Malei Mishkan. Kavod Hashem appears and fills the Mishkan. So I have to say that the event that's described in Vayikra Perek Tet Pasuk Kav Gimel is equivalent to the event that's described in Perek Mem Pasuk Lamed Daled of Sefer Shemot. Therefore, if that's Vayom Shemini, so whatever happens beforehand, 7 days beforehand, is Kaf Gimel of Adar. Therefore, there must be in Mukdam Me'achad B'Torah. Fine. Okay, very good. Got you. But obviously it begets a fascinating question. So Rashi puts all the pieces together very nicely. But why? Why is there not Muhammad Torah? You're talking about the same event, by the way. That means we have the same event described twice. So in Sefer Shemot, Perek Mem, Pasuk Lamed Daled, Sefer Vayikra, Parashat Shemini, it's the same event described twice. It's also going to be described in Sefer Bimidbar as well. That Nahshon ben Aminadav, here Makriba Yom Rishon Korbano. He also gives his Korban on Aleph Nisan. That's why we're saying these days, said that in Nesi'im, each day we read a day of which Nasi it is. So, very strange. And the same event described 3 times in the Torah. Why might that be? And I think the answer already between Sefer Shemot and Vayikra, we get the sense of it already. There's Sefer Shemot, they build a Mishkan and Hashem's presence comes down. It doesn't say Malayat HaMishkan. The fact that Hashem's presence stays on the earth is a fulfillment of Ma'amad Har Sinai. Here in Sefer Vayikra, the focus is on the people. Sefer Shemot, the focus is on God coming down. And in the Sefer Vayikra, the focus that Hashem is appearing to the people. This idea you could build out throughout the Sefer about what each Sefer means, and then how does that play into Sefer Bimidbar? But I think what Rashi does here, he gets us thinking. Each Sefer has its own theme. We could talk about the same event and repeat it 3 times and 3 different Sefarim from different angles, which is so important that Rashi helps us describe. So we spent time last week dealing with the Parashiyot, Hashem never speaking to Moshe 40 years, how that plays into the Torah. And this week we're realizing that the same event of Hakamat HaMishkan, of Chodesh Nisan, is in Shemot, Vayikra, and also in Sefer Bimidbar as well, where we'll say it in Mukdam Mohad as well. And Be'ezrat Hashem will actually see that when we get there, Be'ezrat Hashem. But to keep in mind how important it is, the day of Hakamat HaMishkan, that it's described 3 times in the Torah, 3 times from different perspectives. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week, Be'ezrat Hashem, or the week after, for Parashat Shemini. Shabbat Shalom, and Hag HaShem Sameach. Enjoy your holiday of Pesach.